Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors. And you can see here, we are in the outdoors. This is an Ontario RD-9DG rendition. If you will, there's a little scabber out in the swamps. Huh? Looking good, looking lean. Listen, before we get into the video, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Vets, numbers going down, but we got a long way to go. You have a place here. You're welcome here. We back to blue over here. We support Leo. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So real quick, guys, let me just say this. I'm not a veteran, never been in the military. Veterans causes are very, very, very much on my heart. And that's why we do our intro like we do. Before we get into it, well, no, let's just get into it. This is the Ontario RD-9DG. Now, the RD is ready detachment. Let me talk about the sheath real quick. It is a nylon sheath, MOLLE compatible. It's got the two button clips there at the top. You'll see those, the two straps at the top. And I am not a fan of that. One would have been sufficient. I believe Donnie Be All Day is the one who mentions that quite a bit. That you have to have two if you're jumping out of an airplane. I can promise you, my big ass ain't jumping out of an airplane. So one clip up top would have been fine there. Other than that, guys, I don't really get into the whole sheath thing a whole lot. Having kind of a Kydex company option takes care of that. But I will say this, it is just a basic plain sheath. Now, this knife is made of 5160 blade stock. It's a 1/4 inch thick. The blade length is 9.5 inches long. The cutting edge is 8.5 inches long. The overall length is 15.25 inches long. The handle is black micarta. It is a clip point. Now, the handle length is 5.25. That is deceptive, however, because the actual grip where your hand, where your fingers goes, is 3.75 inches, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, here's kind of the butt kicker here. The weight on this beast is 1 pound and 3 ounces. Now, this came from Timbo 437. If you are not subscribed to Timbo 437, you need to get over there and do so. And I am pretty sure this is not a factory edge. I may be wrong there, may very well be, but you can see the way the knife came. That's the way the knife came to me, and it's razor sharp. I'm thinking Timbo holding this one up, which, thank you, brother. Listen, and there you see, I'm trying to, guys, to get more and more with the sheaths. There's certain things with me just that aren't a big deal, but they are to you guys. And I need y'all to put out that kind of info. Scab, we want to see the sheath more. Scab, this or that. And I'm glad to accommodate where I can. Now, I will say this. It is 1 pound and 3 ounces. I have owned another of the Ranger series from Ontario. The handle for me is a bit blocky and a bit short. Now, that can be changed with different handle scales. I'm not sure. That's really my only qualm with this knife. It's easily remedied. When I move, I have to slide my hand down to chop. You'll see some of that. I move my hand forward for finer tasks. So if I had one con on the knife, it would definitely be the handle. But you guys give me some feedback on that. And I don't mean, oh, I love Scab, it's the greatest, you suck. That's not feedback. Let me know if you have one of these Ontario Ranger series. Let me know how the handle is for you, because you almost have to have a larger hand to get around it because of the width. But then having a larger hand, it's just a bit short. That's something that I think can be remedied with handle scales and grip. Or, Ontario, if you're checking it out, I love the knife, but maybe we could elongate that handle another inch and thin it out some and have a great, great knife. Now, I will say this, 5160 is freaking awesome. I love it. And what you will see in this demonstration is simply this, guys. This thing is a damn beast of a knife. I freaking love it. Now, here's why we're doing it. I know every swinging dick and their brother on YouTube and the knife review community at one point or another has done this and the BK9, the Becker K-Bar Collab 9, which I'm doing tomorrow, 10 years late. But what else do you expect from old Scab? Here's what we're going to do. Timbo sent the BK9 and the Ontario RD9 for me to kind of compare and see which one I've liked. I've wanted to review both of these for a long time, but on both of them, every time I go to get one, I see something else that's shiny and pretty, and it's just one of those deals. But I can tell you this, guys, this knife right here is very easily to control. And you see I've slid my hand up there. It has a ramp. It has a finger choil. I love both. Now, they call this a clip point. I'm thinking it's more of a modified clip point. I'm also thinking I might have sped this part up because, good Lord, I'm flying through it. I don't think I did that the whole video, and I apologize for that. But you can see just the way the blade works. Now, here's the deal, guys. Over the next 5 or 6 days, we're going to be putting out knife demonstrations every single day. If you miss a day, I understand, but please try to bear with us, okay? Because we're trying to put out a lot. We got a raffle coming up. Monday night is huge. We've got Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. Zeke Minacho is going to be on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. Zeke's a designer for Work Tough Gear. He was on Knife or Death. He's an awesome dude. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The YouTube channel is Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. Zeke Minacho will be on. You will hear that every video this weekend. There will be shorts, there will be reels, there will be Instagram. I really want to pump that up. I love Zeke as a person and as a knife designer. He's a neat dude, an interesting guy. Now, on to the Ontario RD-9DG. To be 1.3 ounces, it carries pretty well. I'm just going to tell y'all. Now, here we're doing the John Peters stab test. Of course, I missed several times. It's a great stabber. Really good stabber. It did well. Now, right here's that 2-inch tie strap. We are able to get through it. It's old. This is some old tie strap. Got through it right there. It handled very well. Now, what we're going to do right here, this is a little orange ratchet strap. Let's see. Yep, no problem. And Timbo, if you watch this, man, let me know if you touch this edge up. Now, here's the deal. One of the reasons I like calling these demonstrations is so I can show you the potential of the knife. And when it's got a sharp edge like this, you can see exactly what this knife can do, even in unskilled hands. Now, I asked the question, is it a good tactical fighter? How the hell would I know? I got stabbed in the leg one time, and I don't know that counts for me being a knife fighter. That part I couldn't answer yet. I just thought I'd ask the question in the title. Now, what I will say is this. It's a dang good overall, everyday use camp knife, bushcraft knife, something like that. Easy to control, easy to handle. Now, I've seen a couple different price points on this particular knife. I've seen it anywhere from about $90 to $125. Let me say this. For an American-made knife, Ontario has this Ranger series and their SP series and things like that. Definitely a budget line for being American-made. This is $51.60 with micarta handles, and it goes from $90 to $125. I don't care. I know everybody, budget is a relative term, but I'm just saying these are budget knives, okay? And part of the cost is put off by the nylon sheath. But for that price, guys, this is one hell of a work knife. One hell of a camp knife. Now, old Scab was losing his temper there on the old batoning. But great chopper, not one chip, not one ding, not one blemish, nothing. We batoned a lot of wood. We cut a lot of wood. We chopped a lot of wood. We go in the swamp here in a minute. And there's old Scab. I swear, it's been a rough day, son. Anyway, what you see when I'm at the stump, you either see fat wood, hackberry, or some old pressurized heat treated, or some pressurized pressure treated lumber that's hard as a brick bat. Bear that in mind on some of these tests, okay? Some of these demonstrations here. That's all very little is just soft wood or soft pine. Some is, sometimes, you go with what you got, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we just bring some old 4x4s, old 2x4s, whatever home we can find. I am a scavenger, like them ratchet straps and things like that. I will scavenge that shit in a heartbeat. But we try to use everyday stuff. Now, Do you need to cut a ratchet strap? Here and there. Do you need to cut a tire? Here and there. Get mad at a girlfriend, wife? You know what I'm saying? Go to jail, whatever. I don't know how we got on that. I gave y'all kind of the con of the knife for me is the handle. Now, is it a deal breaker? No. Right here while I'm chopping, and I'm going to show you, I think several times, I slid my hand off the back, held onto the pommel. The pros of the knife, 5160, 1/4 inch blade stock. This is not a sharpened pry bar. This is a damn knife. It functions as a knife. It functions as a hell of a knife. Actually, see right there, we altered the grip. The blade has a slight recurve to it. Don't know what I was doing there. Remember, guys, when I do these narrations, this is really the first time I'm seeing it too, to be honest with you. As you can tell, my editing skills are nil. So sometimes I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing myself. Now, right here, we're just going to do some quick chops. And this, I think this is one of the logs that Joe and I cut up when we were out there before. I'm not sure. But you can see we're out kind of in that swampy area. You got to take a knife like this out there. And it's just dang enjoyable. We're going to cut some vines. We're going to cut some different stuff. Now, we're going to go right back out there tomorrow with the BK9. Okay? I probably got to take a machete. I've got some trails I need to clear through there. If y'all want to see some of that, just kind of some B-roll, just kind of a quick hitter video, swinging some cold steel machetes, let me know. And I'll put a quick one together because I got to be out there anyway. Let me know if you want to see that. I'll keep it 4 or 5 minutes where we just wreak havoc. Just let me know in the comments. The other thing, guys, seriously, all jokes aside, I know sometimes I can be a smart ass, but all jokes aside, if you do own one of the Ontario Ranger series, let me know your thoughts on the handle. I'd love to know that because the blade steel's on point. It really is. I really wish I'd have done this shit on camera instead of holding it off, but it wouldn't be a Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors video if I did everything like I was supposed to do. You'd be a bit disappointed if you were like, damn, this is a great video. Scab couldn't have done this. There's a good look. You see that just really, really slight. It's a really, really slight recurve. It's got a skull crusher for a pommel. Now, I wanted to show y'all a good look at this. This was actually a little game trail, and so I was clearing it off to get some of the vines and some of that stuff. You can kind of see where we're at. Now, guys, right now, it's in the mid-70s to 80s. Moccasins are rampant. I made a mistake. The mistake is this. Anytime I go out in the woods or the swamp, I'll have a long machete-style blade. I try not to be silly. I'll take like one of my axes, hatchets, tomahawk, something like that, or machete. I didn't do that this time, so the RD-9 had to suffice, and it did very, very well. It really, really did. But because some of the moccasins and rattler snakes are moving, I do like carrying me something with a little length to it. So again, tomorrow I'm going to be out there with the BK9. I'll take a machete or something like that. But you can see already here in Florida, we're getting back into the green and the flowering and the beauty and all of that, and it's gorgeous, and it is, and I love it, and I do, and I love being out in the woods, and this is a great blade to be out there with. You can see it just goes to absolute work, but you also have to be careful. So that's kind of my caveat. If some of you guys are getting out more and moving around more, especially in the South, just please know moccasins are moving. When it starts hitting 60s and 70s, they're on the move. Just please be careful. That's it. That's my PSA for today. Such that it is. Now right here, for some reason, I turned my head around like Fred Durst, Scab Fred Durstball, and I don't know why. Fred is not a huge fan of mine. I can tell you that firsthand and up front. I like him. He's just not a big fan of mine. Well, I'll tell that story one day. Anyway. Do I like the Ontario RD-9? Absolutely. Absolutely. I love knives, guys. I really, really do. And please understand, my qualms with the handle isn't really bitching. I think it can be fixed. But it does manifest itself in certain tests. So we have to deal with that, and we have to be upfront with that. Well, guys, listen, we're going to do 5 or 6 days of demonstrations. I'm fired up. It's going to be a weekend of knives. I realize 5 or 6 days is longer than a weekend. Just bear with me. Listen, Mikey says it best. Everything's going to be all right. I'm Scab, You're not. I'm gone, son. Look at them hands. Quick hands. I'm out, son. See y'all tomorrow.